Everyone online seems to be telling you the same thing nowadays. Start a side hustle. And honestly, that advice isn't wrong. But here is the problem. A lot of the side hustles people promote online are either massively overhyped, incredibly difficult, or simply not worth your time. So today I want to do something a bit different. I'm going to rank some of the most popular side hustles from S tier all the way down to F tier. And instead of just giving random opinions, I'm ranking them based on 5 things. Income potential, so how much money you can realistically make from this. Scalability, whether it can grow without you working more hours. Startup difficulty, how hard it is to begin the side hustle. Risk level, the chance of losing money or time. Long-term sustainability, whether it is still viable in a few years from now. So with that said, let's get started. So let's start with freelancing. So freelancing basically means selling a skill you possess online. This could be things like programming, designing, writing, video editing, marketing, and so on. Basically anything that businesses are willing to pay for. One of the biggest advantages of freelancing is how fast you can start making money. You don't need to build a huge audience first. You don't need to create a product. If you have a valuable skill and you find a client, you can literally start getting paid right away. And the income potential is actually much higher than what people think. A beginner freelancer might charge something like 10 to 20 euros per hour, but experienced freelancers in specialized niches can earn 100 euros per hour or even more. There is a downside though, it is the scalability. At the end of the day, freelancing is still trading time for money, and you only have so many hours in the day. There are some freelancers that solve this issue by raising their prices or eventually building an agency and hiring other people to help with the workload. This one I can talk a little bit about my personal experience, as I've been working as a freelancer for the past year. In my case, it is a full-time job. I'm working 40 hours a week, but I can be laid off extremely easily, without any kind of extra compensation. The only requirement is that they need to tell me 4 weeks in advance before they do it. The upside is that I work fully remotely and the salary is very, very good, especially for my country's reality. So summing up, it's reliable, realistic, and relatively low risk, if it is not your main source of income, of course. In my case, it is extremely risky. So for me, freelancing belongs to tier A. So next up, we have dropshipping. It has become extremely popular over the last few years. The idea behind it is very simple. So you create an online store, sell products, and the supplier ships the product directly to the customer. So you never actually have to hold the inventory. In theory, it sounds like the perfect business model. But the reality today is that dropshipping has become very, very competitive. A lot of stores are selling the exact same products, which means the only way to really succeed is by being very good at marketing. Most successful dropshipping stores today rely heavily on paid ads, and that introduces risk. Because if your ads don't perform well, you can easily lose money before finding a profitable product. That doesn't mean dropshipping is impossible. There are still people building successful stores, but it's definitely not the easy money opportunity it used to be in the past. So overall, nowadays I'd put dropshipping into the B tier. Next up, let's talk about print on demand. So this one is very similar to dropshipping, but instead of selling generic products, you're selling custom designs. So for example, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, posters, and so on, stuff like this. The nice thing about this model is that you don't need an inventory. You upload your design, and when somebody buys the product, the printing company introduces and ships it. So it's extremely easy to start, but there are two main challenges. First, again, competition is massive. There are thousands and thousands of sellers uploading designs every single day. Second, the profit margins are relatively small. Unless you build a strong brand or find a very specific niche, it's difficult to scale into a large business. A lot of people make a bit of side income with print on demand, but not huge amounts. So with all of this said, I would put print on demand into the C tier. Affiliate marketing is the next one. So affiliate marketing basically means promoting someone else's product and earning a commission when someone buys through your link. You'll see this a lot with things like software recommendations, online tools, product reviews, and so on. The big advantage here is that you don't need to create your own product. You don't need to deal with shipping or customer support. You are simply connecting people with products they might already want. But affiliate marketing usually works best if you have traffic or an audience. For example, a YouTube channel, a blog, a newsletter, social media following, so on. Without people seeing your recommendations, it's hard to generate sales. But when combined with content creation, affiliate marketing can be very scalable because once the content exists, it can continue generating traffic and commissions over time. So overall, I'd place affiliate marketing in A tier. So now let's get to another interesting one. So the delivery apps and ride sharing. Things like driving for Uber or delivering food. The advantage here is simplicity. You can start quickly and you can begin earning money almost immediately. But there's a big limitation. This model has zero scalability. You're directly trading time for money, which is what we don't want. If you don't drive, you don't earn. And when you factor in things like fuel, vehicle maintenance, and depreciation, the actual profit can be lower than people expect. So while it's a decent way to earn some extra cash in the short term, it's not really a long-term side business. Because of all of these reasons, I will put delivery apps into the D tier. So the next one is digital products. Digital products include things like ebooks, templates, online courses, digital tools, design assets, and so on. This is one of the most powerful business models on the internet. The reason is simple. You create a product just once and you can sell it 1,000 times. There's no inventory, no shipping, and the profit margins can be extremely high. For example, a template might sell for 10 or 20 euros and cost almost nothing to distribute. The main challenge here is that you usually need an audience or some sort of marketing to sell these products. But if you combine digital products with content creation, it becomes incredibly powerful. Because of the scalability and margins, digital products go into A tier. So the next one is a controversial one, it's crypto trading. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely people who make a lot of money trading, but for most people, trading is incredibly difficult. It requires a deep understanding of the markets, risk management, and above all, emotional discipline. And the reality is that many beginners end up treating trading like gambling, and this is a big problem. They chase quick profits, take too much risk, and eventually lose money. So, while trading can work for professionals, as a typical side hustle for the average person, it's extremely risky. Because of that, crypto trading goes into the F tier. So finally, we got to the last one, YouTube. So YouTube is honestly one of the most interesting side hustles out there, in my opinion, because it's not just a side hustle, it can turn into a full business. The biggest advantage of YouTube is leverage. You might spend 5 hours creating a video, but that video can generate views and income for years. And the income doesn't just come from ads. Successful channels make money through ads, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, selling their own products, and memberships or communities. Another huge benefit is that YouTube helps you build an audience and a personal brand. And once people trust you, it becomes much easier to monetize that attention. Now the downside is that YouTube takes time and consistency. Most channels take months, sometimes even years, before they start making meaningful income. And a lot of people quit before they reach that point. But if you stick with it and it works, the upside is enormous. So because of the enormous potential and how it enables other side hustles, I'll put YouTube in S tier. So that's my ranking of side hustles from S tier all the way down to F tier. But the truth is, there's something important to remember here. A side hustle that works incredibly well for one person might be a terrible fit for someone else. Your skills, your interests, and the amount of time you're willing to invest can make a huge difference. For example, someone who enjoys creating content might thrive with YouTube, while someone with technical strong skills might do much better with freelancing. At the end of the day, the best side hustle is usually the one that you can stay consistent with over time, because most of these opportunities only start paying off after weeks, months, or even years of effort. Now I'm really curious to hear from you guys. Which side hustle would you put in S tier? And which one do you think is completely overrated? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments your ideas for the next tier list. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.